The polished floors of Apex Innovation's towering headquarters gleamed under fluorescent lights, a monument to wealth and ambition. Late at night, a black janitor, unnoticed by the corporate elite, mopped with steady precision, his eyes catching a flicker of distress in the millionaire CEO rushing past. The CEO's face was pale, his hand clutching his chest, his breath uneven, signs the janitor recognized from a painful past. "Sir, you don't look well," he called, but the CEO brushed him off, disappearing into the elevator. Moments later, a thud echoed. The CEO collapsed, life slipping away. The janitor's quick thinking, CPR, a call to 911, brought him back from the brink. What made this janitor see what executives, assistants, and doctors missed? How did a man in the shadows become the hero of a corporate empire? This gripping tale of overlooked wisdom and life-saving courage reveals a truth. Sometimes, the least noticed hold the greatest power to change everything. Apex Innovation's glass and steel. Skyscraper loomed over the city, its 40 floors a symbol of cutting-edge technology and relentless ambition. At its helm was CEO Victor Grayson, a 50-year-old millionaire whose software breakthroughs had transformed global cybersecurity. Victor's life was a whirlwind of board meetings, investor calls, and international deals, his tailored suits masking a body pushed to its limits. Chest pains, dizziness, and exhaustion plagued him, but he dismissed them as the cost of leadership. His inner circle, executives, assistants, and security, saw his drive as legendary, blind to the warning signs creeping into his every step. In the tower's quiet corners worked Samuel Carter, a 47-year-old black janitor with a mop and a story of his own. Samuel, a widower, raised his 16-year-old daughter, Maya, after losing his wife to heart disease a decade earlier. Her illness had taught him to spot subtle symptoms, pallor, shortness of breath, fatigue, that others overlooked. By night, he cleaned Apex's offices, his presence barely registered by the suits rushing past. By day, he coached Maya's basketball team, his gentle strength a beacon in their modest apartment. Samuel's co-workers, janitors like Rosa and security guard Carl, respected his quiet wisdom, but executives saw him as invisible, a cog in the corporate machine. Victor's health had been faltering for months. He'd pop aspirin for chest tightness, blaming stress, while his assistant, Emily, a sharp 30-year-old, scheduled his days without pause. "You need a break, Mr. Grayson," she'd say, but Victor would laugh it off. "No time, Emily. The merger's on the line." Security Chief Carl noticed Victor's slower gait but joked, "Boss is just working too hard." Samuel, however, saw more. During his shifts, he'd catch Victor pausing in hallways, his hand pressing his chest, sweat beading on his brow. "You okay, sir?" Samuel asked once, his voice steady. Victor snapped, "I'm fine. Keep mopping." Samuel nodded, but his concern deepened, memories of his wife's ignored symptoms haunting him. The stage was set for a crisis, with Samuel's keen eye the only hope in a tower of distraction. The Apex Tower hummed with late-night activity, executives finalizing deals under glowing screens. Samuel moved through the 20th floor offices, his mop gliding across marble, his eyes scanning for more than just spills. He'd seen Victor's decline for weeks, pale skin, labored breathing, a hand clutching his arm after heated calls. That's not just stress, Samuel thought, his wife's heart condition flashing in his mind. He mentioned it to Rosa during a break in the janitor's closet. "The CEO looks sick. Heart, maybe." Rosa frowned. "You're no doctor, Sam. Don't stir trouble." Samuel sighed, knowing his role limited his voice. Emily, Victor's assistant, noticed his fatigue but chalked it up to the merger's pressure. "Take it easy, sir," she urged one morning. Victor waved her off, his voice sharp. "Can't. Investors are watching." The boardroom buzzed with praise for his stamina, but no one questioned his health. Samuel, cleaning nearby, overheard Victor's strained voice during a meeting, his hand gripping the table. After hours, Samuel found a dropped pill bottle in Victor's office, beta blockers, half empty. He's ignoring a heart problem, Samuel realized, his stomach tightening. He tried again, approaching Victor in the hallway. "Sir, you really need a doctor. Those signs aren't good." Victor's eyes flashed. "Mind your job, janitor." Samuel backed off, hurt but resolute. At home, Samuel confided in Maya over dinner. "The boss is sick, but no one listens to me." Maya hugged him. "You see things, Dad, like with Mom. Keep trying." Her words fueled his determination. The next week, Victor's symptoms worsened. During a presentation, he stumbled, his face ashen, but recovered with a forced smile. Executives clapped, oblivious. Samuel, mopping the lobby later, saw Victor exit an elevator, his steps unsteady, sweat glistening. "Sir, please, you're—" "Not okay," Samuel said, stepping forward. Victor snapped, "Enough!" but his voice wavered. The tension mounted as Samuel's warnings went unheard, the tower's bustle drowning his voice. One Friday night, as the office emptied, Victor staggered through the lobby, clutching his chest, his breathing shallow. Samuel, finishing his shift, saw the signs: pallor, sweat, a grimace of pain. "Mr. Grayson, you need help now," he said, dropping his mop. Victor muttered, "Just tired," but collapsed, his body crumpling to the floor. Samuel rushed to him, checking his pulse, his training kicking in. "Call 911!" he yelled to Carl, who froze in shock. Emily ran in, gasping. Samuel began CPR, his hands steady, compressions rhythmic, as employees gathered, phones out, filming the chaos. The rising drama peaked, Samuel's alertness the only barrier between life and death. Victor lay motionless on the lobby's marble floor, his face ghostly, breath gone. Samuel knelt, his hands pressing Victor's chest in steady CPR, sweat beading on his own brow. "Stay with me, sir," he urged, his voice calm but urgent. Emily fumbled her phone, dialing 911, her hands shaking. "He's having a heart attack," Samuel called, his compressions unwavering. Carl, the security guard, finally snapped into action, clearing space as employees whispered, some filming, others frozen. Paramedics burst through the doors, their equipment clattering. Samuel stepped back, panting, as they shocked Victor's heart, monitors beeping. Victor's eyes fluttered open, his voice weak. "You saved me." Samuel nodded, relief washing over him. The climax was a blaze of urgency and gratitude, Samuel's ignored warnings proven right. His quick action pulling Victor back from the edge in front of a stunned crowd. Victor woke in a hospital bed, monitors humming, his heart stabilized after emergency surgery for a blocked artery. Doctors confirmed Samuel's CPR had saved him, his symptoms ignored too long. Victor summoned Samuel to his room. "You saw what no one else did," he said, his voice raw. Samuel shared his story, losing his wife to heart disease, learning to spot its signs. "I tried to warn you, sir, but I'm just the janitor." Victor's eyes softened. Not anymore. He offered Samuel a role as facilities supervisor, with a raise to support Maya's college dreams. Apex implemented mandatory health screenings, inspired by Samuel's vigilance. At a company event, Victor honored him, pinning a medal as employees clapped, Maya beaming in the crowd. Samuel trained staff to recognize health warning signs, his voice now valued. He and Victor formed a bond, sharing coffee breaks, the CEO humbled by the janitor's wisdom. The tower's culture shifted, valuing every worker. Samuel reflected at home, Maya hugging him. "You're my hero, Dad." The resolution was a triumph of empathy, proving the unseen can save lives and reshape a company, What heroes walk unnoticed among us? This story shows their power.